He waited for her for years. But the day she returned, she whispered, "I'm getting married." His heart shattered in silence, right there in the cafe, yet he smiled for her. This is the story of a man who loved only one woman in his life, and still hopes to marry her, even when he knows it may never happen. The evening sun melted into the horizon, staining the sky in shades of orange and crimson. In that small coastal town, the wind carried the scent of sea salt and jasmine, the same fragrance that reminded Daniel of her. Elena. She wasn't the most beautiful woman in the world, but to Daniel, she was the world. Her laughter had a way of softening his anger, her words could silence his storms, and her absence, her absence, could ruin him without mercy. They had met in college in a literature class that neither of them really cared about. Daniel was quiet, always sitting at the back, while Elena loved to sit in the front row, answering every question with confidence and fire. She had dreams, too many dreams, of writing books, traveling the world, and maybe, if life allowed it, finding a love worth growing old for. Daniel thought she'd never notice him. But one day, she dropped her notebook, and he picked it up. That was all it took, a single moment that fate wrapped carefully and handed to them both. From then on, they were inseparable. Coffee dates that turned into sunsets, library sessions that became love letters, laughter that echoed through every corridor. But time, like a cruel teacher, began to test their hearts. After graduation, Elena received an offer, a writing job in another city. Daniel begged her not to go, but she smiled with tears in her eyes and said, "If you really love me, you'll let me fly." He did. And in letting her fly, he broke his own wings. They promised to stay in touch, but calls turned to texts, texts turned to silence, and silence became memory. Still, Daniel waited. Every morning, he'd check his phone before brushing his teeth, just to see her name. Every night, he'd scroll through old photos, whispering, "She'll come back. She has to." Years passed. Daniel worked, saved money, bought a small apartment, not because he needed one, but because he imagined her walking through that door one day, laughing again, calling it their home. Then one evening, as rain tapped gently on the window, Daniel received a message. It was from Elena. "I'm back in town. Can we meet?" His heart raced. After all those years, after all that silence, she remembered him. He dressed in the same navy blue shirt she once said made his eyes look kind. He even bought her favorite flowers, white lilies. They met at a quiet cafe by the sea. Elena looked the same, only softer, wiser. She smiled, but her eyes carried something heavy. "Daniel," she said softly, "I'm getting married." The words hit him like a thunderclap. The world around him blurred, the laughter of strangers, the smell of coffee, even the sea outside. Everything vanished. She reached across the table, touching his hand. "I wanted to tell you in person. You were the best part of my life. But sometimes love isn't about staying. It's about remembering." Daniel smiled, but it wasn't real. It was the kind of smile a man wears when he's trying not to fall apart. That night, he walked alone along the beach, where they once promised forever. The waves crashed softly against his feet, like old memories whispering goodbyes. He looked up at the sky, the same sky she loved, and said quietly, "You'll always be my almost." And as the tide came in, washing away his footprints, Daniel realized something. Some people spend their whole lives chasing the one they love. Others spend their lives loving the one they can never have. He was the second kind, the one lover who still hoped to marry.